Number 8, the decision fatigue wall. You find yourself standing in a grocery aisle staring at two identical jars of peanut butter for 10 minutes. This is not indecision, it is a psychological state called ego depletion. Your brain has a finite amount of willpower and executive energy every single day. Think of it like a battery that starts off full in the morning. And every tiny choice, from choosing what to wear to writing or reading an email, drains that battery. When you are burning out, your brain has effectively spent its most efficient and intellectual power by late afternoon. You stop making smart choices and start making the easiest ones possible. This often results in you eating cereal for dinner because the mental labor of following a recipe feels like it requires a lot of mental capacity. Science shows that chronic stress actually weakens the neural pathways between your logic centers and your action centers. So, next time you find yourself feeling lazy and eating cup noodles, that's not your brain being difficult, it is simply out of fuel. Number 7, the social human firewall. You used to enjoy your friends and looked forward to weekend plans. Now, the sound of a text notification feels like a physical blow to your chest. You see a name pop up on your screen, and your feelings are annoyance and irritation rather than excitement. This is your mirror neuron system shutting down to conserve energy. Mirror neurons are the biological basis for empathy and social bonding. Empathy is a high cost emotional resource that your brain can no longer afford to spend. To save power, your internal system builds a massive firewall. You start isolating and canceling plans. You go into ghost mode. It's not because you are a bad friend, but because your nervous system is in an emergency power save state. It is trying to protect you from the noise of other people's lives because your own internal noise is already deafening. Number 6, the gravity glitch. You are suddenly the most clumsy person you know. You bump into door frames, drop your phone constantly, and trip over flat surfaces. It feels like gravity has a personal vendetta against you. Science identifies this as a disruption in proprioception. This is your brain's subconscious ability to track where your limbs are in physical space. When your processor is overloaded with stress hormones, it cuts power to non essential functions to focus on perceived threats. Fine motor skills and spatial awareness are often the first things to lag. Your brain is so busy scanning for perceived threats that it forgets to track exactly where your body is. You are not becoming naturally clumsy. Your internal processing for spatial awareness of the body is simply lagging because the hardware is overheated and struggling to keep up with basic movements. Number 5, the second brain revolt. Your gut is often called your second brain because it contains millions of neurons and produces about 95% of your body's serotonin. When your primary brain is overwhelmed by burnout, your second brain feels it almost immediately. This is why burnout frequently manifests as a nervous stomach, chronic bloating, or sudden digestive issues. The vagus nerve acts as a high speed pathway for communication between your head and your gut. Under the weight of chronic stress, this pathway becomes gridlocked with emergency signals, deteriorating its functions to properly handle and recover from it, which leads to nervous system dysregulation. Digestion can drastically slow down or erratically speed up. You might feel nauseated just by thinking about your upcoming to do lists. You might feel sick knowing there's an upcoming deadline or exam. This is a physical manifestation of a psychological wall. Your body is sending a clear message that it literally cannot stomach the current state of your life. And it's time to take some time to take care of whatever it is. So trust your gut feeling, bro. Take a step back, drink some water, go for a walk, and clear your mind. Number 4, the empathy blackout. You ever see a tragic news story or a crying coworker and you feel absolutely nothing? You're standing there with a feeling of indifference, thinking, this has nothing to do with me. It's not that you don't care or lack empathy, it's because your brain's emotional centers have become desensitized from overexposure. Psychologists call this compassion fatigue or emotional desensitization, and it is actually a defense mechanism. If you felt the full weight of every external emotion while already burnt out, your system would completely shatter. So your brain turns down its external processing on the world's pain to protect you. You might worry that you are losing your humanity or becoming a sociopath, but you are just psychologically burnt out, and your brain has no capacity nor emotional bandwidth to empathize. It's your brain flagging you to take a much needed recalibration and rest before the whole system collapses. Number three, revenge bedtime procrastination. You are exhausted and your eyes are burning from fatigue, yet you find yourself scrolling through social media at 2 a.m. This is not a lack of discipline. It is a phenomenon known as revenge bedtime procrastination. During the day, you feel like you have zero control over your own life. Your time belongs to your employer, your family, and your endless list of responsibilities. The late night hours are the only time you feel like a person instead of a tool. You are effectively taking revenge on your daytime stresses by stealing hours back from your sleep. It is a desperate attempt by your brain to reclaim some sense of personal agency. But this false sense of control is actually compounding the stresses in your life. You are essentially trading your mental health for an illusion of freedom. It's not worth it. Sleep is literally the best medicine to reduce stress and recover from burnout. Trust me, bro, I've been burnt. Number two, the sensory overload. You ever find yourself completely flustered or frustrated over the most mundane things? The sound of cars driving by that takes all your focus, or lights that feel like blinding high beams. It's because when you are burning out, your sensory gating begins to fail. A healthy brain filters out irrelevant background noise so you can focus. It ignores the ticking clock and the feeling of your clothes against your skin. A burnout brain has lost its filter. Every sound is too loud and every light is too bright. It feels like your brain has lost its protective skin and every sensation is amplified. You end up snapping at people for breathing too loudly because your system is overstimulated and has no energy left to regulate your reactions. So, next time you find yourself with zero patience and easily annoyed, you're burnt out, bro. Catch some sunlight and get some rests. Number one, the body's silent protest. Sometimes your mind will lie to you. It claims you are fine and can keep going, but your body never lies. Some physical representation of burning out include chronic jaw clenching, grinding your teeth at night, and shoulders that stay hiked up toward your ears. This is your sympathetic nervous system stuck in a permanent freeze state. Your muscles are literally bracing for a physical impact that never actually comes. Over time, this extreme tension becomes your new normal, and you stop noticing it. You only realize the level of stress you are carrying when a tension headache hits that immobilizes you. Your body is holding on to the trauma and stress that your mind is trying its best to ignore. And these behaviors are the product of burnout that your body uses as both coping mechanisms and a signal that something needs to change. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, bro. Like and subscribe to see more.